What's up, YouTube? Check, check, check. Oh, I hope this mic works. We are just going to do a short little live stream so I can kind of mess around with the technology, I guess. You don't have access to this feature. You don't have access feature. Pop out dashboard. Yeah, I wanted to see if I could do any screen cap while I'm recording, but I guess I have to use different software for that. And it's been so long, I can't even remember what software is good for that. Manage. Man, it doesn't work. But we are live here in sunny California. And let's see, what does this do? Share screen. Ooh, I got to be careful about that. Close that. Probably keep that open. We'll close that. And we'll open this. Let's see how this works. Can we share screen? Tab, window. Sure, let's try this. Okay. Now, interesting. Now, what I need to do is figure out how I can look at what I'm sharing while I'm sharing it. This works. Oh, come on, just a piece of do that. Yeah, guilty, Mr. And thinking a little bit. I'm not exactly sure why it's like that, but before count are. What counts did Trump get found of? I don't know how it third thing. Old accounts. False business to government. So porn star related 16 president. Like, man, there's get him. And honestly, I really care. I mean, ultimately, number one, JFK with Marilyn Monroe. Bill Clinton got something from Monica Lewinsky. Presidents are not perfect human beings. And I mean, automatically, how is the left so obsessed with the left is glued there? Spend another 4 years trying to impeach. There's a Russian, no matter what with the war, been putting best friend. Wow, this is really. It does not sharing the screen. Let me see if I go full screen if that works better. Huh, slightly better. Now can I scroll? There we go. That's not too bad. Yeah, Mr. Trump, President Trump. I still think he'd be a better president. Do I think he's a perfect human being? No, nobody is. But he wanted to secure the border. He didn't want to give money to other countries. He wanted to drain the swamp. I don't know how far he got with that. He appointed a lot of conservative judges, which, to be honest, was probably one of the best things he did while in office. Because if you have a judge that doesn't uphold the Constitution, you don't have a country anymore. I just read a story about a guy who shot like 6 people in all these different states. And, he was in one state, he shot these people. He went to this other state, he shot these other people. And then some, nonprofit, whatever, non-governmental organization was like, liberal idiots for peace or whatever, bail this dude out who literally shot 6 other people. It's like, what the hell are you thinking? Just crazy to me. So I really don't think he's going to go to jail. I don't think it's in the best interest of America to send a president to jail. I mean, they could put him on probation for 10 years or something, right? I can't imagine him having to piss test or something. That would just kind of comical to me. But yeah, the way this country is run is so screwed up. You know, I was looking on Craigslist the other day on the forums just to kind of see. Oh, let me switch this around. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's a little bit better. Check. Maybe. I was looking on the forums on Craigslist the other day, and somebody was like, "Oh, here are 10 indicators that the economy is doing great under Biden." And what a lot of people don't realize is that the economy, quote unquote, as measured by the GDP, as measured by the official unemployment numbers, can look great, right? If you look on Reddit, if you talk to people that are trying to get a job, I myself, master's degree in engineering, 5 years of experience at a very prominent aerospace company. I'm finding it difficult to get a job, to get interviews. I've had a few interviews that didn't go well in person or otherwise, where I didn't say the right thing or I didn't pass the assessment in the right way. But it's hard. It's hard to get a job. And just because, companies are making a lot of money in the stock market, that doesn't translate to the average individual. Not surprisingly. But yeah, this whole Trump stuff is crazy. I hope we can get past it as soon as possible. I think he would be a better president than we've had as of late. But of course, people are very jaded when it comes to Trump. By the way, Glock and Roll, if you can give me an audio check. I haven't used this setup before. I mean, people can hear me when I game, but if you can just let me know if I'm too loud, too quiet. I don't have a lot of feedback on that. But yeah, I mean, 34 counts, like I don't even know. I can understand if they get them on like a couple of counts, but how do you get 34 counts for literally one payment? How do you hide one payment? They said he falsified business records. How do you have 34 business records? Thank you, Glock and Roll. How do you have 34 business records of one payment? I mean, what's ironic about the whole thing is that if he would have never paid her and just let her say, oh, Trump did whatever, he could have just said, oh, that's just some crazy whore, He could have just written her off, and he probably would have been better off than to try to pay her $120,000 and she didn't even keep her mouth shut. Go figure. Don't trust a porn star, right? Not exactly models of society. So just wild to me that the left is just so, I mean, people care more about what happens to Trump than they do about the national debt, than they do about the economy, than they do about immigration, than they do about the war in Israel, Palestine, than they do about the war in Ukraine, Russia. That's why the left is insane, because they're just obsessed with this nonsense garbage. Just like during his presidency for 4 years, it was always the Mueller report. I mean, every night on CNN, I don't know if you remember, but for like 2 solid years on CNN, the Mueller report, the Mueller report, the Mueller report. Rachel Maddow was creaming in her panties about the fucking Mueller report, just never ending. And then that turned into nothing burger. Oh, collusion with Russia, and that turned into nothing burger. Meanwhile, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, is literally on the board of a Ukrainian company or Russian company, or Burisma, whoever. Who's Burisma? Yeah, Ukrainian company. We have the son of a president, and that whole, we'll give you $1 billion or whatever. Well, now Ukraine's getting a lot more than $1 billion, aren't they? So just wild. I'm too deep into politics. Let's take a look at some news here. And man, YouTube does not like. It's just not out. Really frustrating. I wonder why that is. I'm a very innocent man. Yeah, well, our country has gone to hell. He's not wrong about that. Biden campaign. No one is above the law. Yeah, he's probably going to regret that at some point. What else do we have? Biden black voter troubles setting off alarm bells. Well, if you don't vote for Biden, you ain't black, which means that if you don't vote for Biden, you aren't black. So I guess Biden doesn't have problems with black voters, because black voters that don't vote for Biden aren't black, right? Isn't that how that math works? Man pleads guilty to 12,000 harassing calls to Congress members. You know what? If anybody has the time to call Congress 12,000 times, I give him credit. That's hard work. That man should be a lobbyist. Probably all legitimate calls too. 12,000 calls. If you made 10 calls a day, that would take you 1,200 days. That's a lot of work. Routers destroyed, hail in Texas. Yeah, the South is getting a lot of crazy ass weather these days. California lifeguard sues over rainbow flag. Well, we know how that's going to go. We know how that's going to go. I'm surprised the lifeguard was bold enough to even mention it. You know, if you want to keep your job, you better embrace the rainbow flags, let me tell you. The only town in USA built for Chinese people. Sounds fascinating. What else do we got? Dawn is a con. Wow, clever. Talk about English mastery here. Claims Trump said the N-word. Oh my God. And it was taped. Yeah, well, black people say the N-word all the time. Nobody cares, you know. A white guy says the N-word, and all of a sudden the sky's going to fall. If you see Trump interact with people, you know, if Trump was really racist, do you think he could really fake it? People who are truly racist don't fake it, you know. If he were truly racist, I mean, he goes up and just like Dave Chappelle said, you know, Bill Clinton kissing the N-word baby or something like that. I mean, funny stuff. He said the N-word, you know, he guilty of 34 counts. And if you don't care about that, he said the N-word once and we have it on tape. Oh my God, give me a break. Biden told black people they're not black if they don't vote for him. He tried to unblack black people. And meanwhile, Trump said the N-word, you know, ridiculous. CNN, RFK, Lenny Kravitz, celibate for 9 years. Wow, I don't know why I care about that. Record stock market. Yeah, if you have money in mutual funds, you're doing good these days. I do not have money in mutual funds. I really wish I had been investing in mutual funds over the last freaking 20 years. Water under the bridge. Even now, maybe I should just start now, open up some mutual fund account. I should talk to my parents about that. Put a little bit in every month. And it's not because I believe in the stock market necessarily. It's because the stock market grows because of the devaluation of the dollar. So if the dollar gets devalued, just because the stock market goes from, you know, 35,000 to 40,000, it doesn't mean you're more wealthy. It just means that the amount of dollars worth 35,000, now you need $40,000 to be worth $35,000. So some amount of the stock market growth actually relates to the whole concept of the stock market, whereas like you're creating more value, so the stock should be worth more. But a lot of the stock market growth comes from quantitative easing, comes from fraud. You know, Tesla. Let's talking about stocks. Let's take a look at Tesla because everyone was in love in Tesla. You know, oh, Tesla's gonna, you know, go to the moon and Tesla's the best. And let's take a little look at Tesla. So Tesla back in 2011, 2012, you know, $1, $2. Don't you wish you bought Tesla? Don't you wish you bought 1,000 shares of Tesla in 2013? I mean, even from 2013 to 2015, you had 10 times growth, right? You went from like $2. When did it get to $20? So over 4 years, you had 10 time growth because in about 2017, it was $20 a share. So if you would have held Tesla for 4 years, you could have 10 times your money. And then somehow during COVID, which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, Tesla went from, let's go to 5 year. So Tesla started jumping during COVID. I mean, in 2020, it was $32 a share. By the end of 2020, it was $120 a share. So it already 4 times. By early 2021, it was $300, which is insane. And that should have been kind of a sign like maybe I should get out of this. and a bunch of people did, and it sold off, and through half the year it went back down to 200. Then it went all the way up to 407, and then we dropped all the way back down to $100 a share, and then all the way back up to $281 a share. Now all the way back down to $178 a share. So does anyone want to buy some Tesla? Some Tesla stock? Let's see. Year to date, we have declined from 248 down to 178. But yeah, but if you look on YouTube for videos, basically throughout this entire time, people are saying, "Oh, invest in Tesla, invest in Tesla." And I'm not sure when people started poo-pooing Tesla, but I would love to know if people out there have been making money or losing money in the Tesla game. How you doing, Uncle Al? Yeah, well, they're building cars in China, so we'll see whether or not Tesla comes back up. But yeah, I'm just trying to do a quick little live video. I haven't done a live video in a minute. I just got a new laptop. I bought it with my Amazon Chase Prime rewards card points, so I actually didn't have to pay $1 for it, which was pretty nice. My friend recommended this laptop to me. It has a AMD Ryzen 5000 Series 7 something something, and AMD Radeon graphics card. Pretty kick-ass performance for a laptop, if you ask me. Just made a video a little bit earlier today about how I'm waiting on a background check for a job that was offered to me that we're hoping that I can secure here. You'll forgive me, Uncle Al, my seen all or what? Seen all or wrecked Teslas in Chicago. I'm not familiar with Tesla crashes in Chicago, but I know they're having a lawsuit in California in the near future. And I know that there was a video recently, allegedly, of a Tesla almost running into a train, which is pretty crazy. It shows this Tesla. I mean, just yesterday, I honked at this lady in a Tesla because I hate people who don't drive. She's just screwing around on her phone, hands not on the wheel. And Tesla is just driving. She's just letting the Tesla drive. She doesn't care. And the thing is, Tesla drivers or Tesla passengers, I should say, are so disconnected from reality. They literally don't care. They literally do not care that they're just driving. They think that their car, they think that full self-driving is full self-driving. Yeah, the Teslas do not work well in cold weather, and it was cracking me up when there was that cold snap a while ago, and all the Teslas were getting stuck. They're like, "Oh, my Tesla doesn't work." It's like, no, nobody's going to come crying. Nobody's going to cry for you if your Tesla doesn't work. But yeah, Tesla stock. Maybe I should buy some Tesla. I don't even like Teslas, but based on this, do you think we're gonna? I mean, if you look at like sort of classic stock analysis, you might say, well, the bottom within the last year was 113. So until it gets down to 113, there's room to go down. And we've seen here. I mean, it hit 142, so it almost looks like we have support at 142. So yeah, maybe Tesla is not the worst buy right now. Do we have any other interesting news? Ex-NFL star working at Nevada governor's mansion while serving prison sentence. I don't have a problem with that. Go for it. Maybe security. I'd hire an ex. If somebody was in the NFL and they went to prison, I'm going to say they make a good security guard. Machete attack at Times Square McDonald's. Yeah, speaking of attacks, this poor actor in Los Angeles, I don't know if you heard about this, Uncle Al, but this poor actor got shot. Let's pull up the article. This poor guy. Actor shot in Los Angeles. Yeah, so Johnny Wachter, he was an actor and his name was Wachter. That's funny. So this poor guy, he's he's an actor and he doesn't make enough money as an actor, so he works part-time as a bartender. He's doing an honorable thing as a guy by walking his coworker home. Well, walking his coworker to her car, they approach the car and four criminals are um, trying to steal the catalytic converter, and he approaches them or confronts them or says something, whatever, and they freaking shoot him in the chest, or they shoot him and he dies. And yeah, exactly. And it's just so sad because California is so anti-gun that they don't want any law-abiding citizen holding a gun. Meanwhile, criminals are walking around with all the guns and they don't give a shit. Um, and it's just tragic, you know. It's just, I mean, unfortunately, these days, if somebody is stealing something, you're basically better off letting them go because even if you have a firearm, California doesn't honor the right to protect property with deadly force. So if somebody like is stealing your car, you don't have a right to shoot them. Now, if they're threatening your life by pointing a gun at you, that's different. But if they're just stealing your car, you basically can't shoot them, and that's just ridiculous. There's no castle doctrine, there's no stand your ground doctrine, there's no protection of property doctrine. California is a great state for criminals, and it's a terrible state for law abiding citizens. Let's see if I can switch pages here. Let's see if this works. I think it's working. Let's try that. Fucking ads. Oh my god. Fuck yourself. I can't stand when websites just do this fucking old fashioned ass garbage fucking ads. Nobody wants to see your stupid fucking pop ups. Literally nobody. You're making sausage. Making sausage or you're cooking sausage? I mean, I know you know how to cook, Uncle Al, but I'm just curious about the differentiation between making sausage and cooking sausage. I don't think I've ever made sausage where you grind up the meat and put it in a casing and do all that stuff. Ooh, I am making sausage. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Probably with roadkill, no doubt. Squirrels and raccoons and your neighbor's cats. Yeah, I am just killing time here in the hotel. Have one job offer that might come through, but like I said on the last video, the background check for the county of LA is an absolute nightmare right now, unfortunately, and there's not much I can do about that. It's truly a pain in the ass. Still kind of working on some side hustle stuff. Still trying to figure out whether or not putting up an ad on Craigslist is even worth it. I used to assemble furniture for people. I was literally staying at a hotel by IKEA the other day. I thought about just making a poster board and standing out front like, I'll assemble your shit, because you basically have to assemble everything at IKEA. Um, but yeah, hopefully in the next week or two I can start a job, because this boredom is driving me crazy. I mean, I am not the type that does well in an unstructured environment. Some people do, but when you think about it, like summers, for example, summer vacation for me was the absolute worst time in my life. I was happy for about the first weekend of summer vacation, but after that, not having any structure, my mom, I think, had a job most of the time. Maybe she was at home. She probably was at home, even though I think she was a teacher during some of that time. But I'd be like, Mom, I'm bored. And she'd be like, go outside and play. That's That was entertainment. When I was growing up in the late 80s and 90s, go outside and play, which is not bad advice, right? Like I swear my kids are gonna not love me because I'm not gonna let them be on their phone all day. Hopefully I can settle down and find a wifey and have some kids at some point in the future. But yeah, I'm too addicted to my phone now. I watch too many stupid YouTube shorts, and I'm trying to get into some more physical hobbies. I actually want to buy a kiteboarding wing, and maybe I can show it to y'all here. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Sporting goods, kite. Oh, fucking come on. Wing. Go. So let's take this link. Let's copy this. Let's go over here. Nope. Let's go over here. Paste. Oh, fuck. Let's try that. And then let's go back to here. Yeah, so this is what I want to buy. This is like it's kind of like well, it's a wing. It's a wing that you inflate a little bit, and it provides you a little bit of thrust. And I want to get a skateboard, probably a longboard. I'm glad that you specified not acting grip work. And I don't need you to even explain how you have a connection to this industry, but I know that you do, Uncle Al. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of that event stuff, and trust, like, I'm not above it. It's honest work. Oldest job in the book, so they say. But yeah, considering I'm next to Hollywood, you would think it wouldn't be that hard. But I have not. Most of the stuff I see on Craigslist is like they want you to be a model. It's like super sketchy, skeevy shit. But if you have any good contacts, Uncle Al, feel free to email me. I have no idea how I would find producers that do that stuff. But this is what I want for my hobby, this wing thing. I also want to get an RC glider again. I used to have a glider that I'd fly around a lot, and I crashed a lot. But it was a lot of fun, and it got me outdoors, and it got me hiking up hills and stuff. I do miss that. Yes, I get what you're saying, Uncle Al. Yeah. Hopefully you're doing well, Uncle Al. I haven't caught as many of your recent videos as I should have, but hopefully you're doing well and still active with your church and helping the seniors and all the good stuff that I know you do. Hang gliding. Yeah, well, let me tell you about hang gliding. My father almost died hang gliding. And although it looks like a lot of fun, um, I don't want to die. And I definitely don't want to die before my parents because I think it would just break their heart. I know it would. Um, I don't want them to spend the next 30 years, with that pain in their heart. But yeah, my father almost died during a ground tow. He got drugged to the ground, and it's a goddamn miracle he didn't break his neck, or it really is a miracle he didn't break his neck. Still recovery from the TIA event. Oh no, I don't know what that is. But you don't have to share here on the chat. TIA. Fucking transient ischemic attack when the blood supply to your brain is temporarily blocked. Jesus Christ, that doesn't sound great. Sounds awful. Well, I'm glad you're still alive and kicking. Yeah, that's awful. But you're a tough old dog, Uncle Al. I know you are. I know you've been through a lot. You almost hit a jet in your hang glider. Why does that not surprise me? Why does that not surprise me, Uncle Al? Good Lord. Yeah, hang gliding is sketchy. Anything small, anything small aviation wise, paragliding, hang gliding, private pilot. I still want to get my private pilot's license, and I would pay to go up here locally, but it's just so goddamn expensive for an hour of training. What I want to do is find somewhere cheap enough that I can go and get my whole license in like a couple weeks or something. But the private pilot's license is just so much damn studying, so much about the weather and radios and airspace, and just so much shit you don't really need to just kind of go for a short flight around in the day. So maybe I'll buy an ultralight, which is really risky, and just buy an ultralight and go fuck around somewhere in the desert one of these days. Still not monetized, still under 900 subscribers, and I'm considering changing my name because I'm obviously a terrible prepper. I haven't been making fires or doing anything with the homestead. I had a house for 4 years, and that was supposed to help me with my prepping stuff, but instead I just spent 4 years fixing up the stupid piece of junk. Thank God I sold it. And even though it's a little rough doing the boondocking thing and living in hotels and such, I'm so glad I don't live next to my old neighbors. They were gangbangers, and the cops came the last month I was there, and there was a dozen cops holding their guns in front of my house. And yeah, fun times with the police and my neighbors. And I even kind of gave the cops shit. I was like, why the hell do you have all your guns out? Like, there's people that live here. You can't, like, don't kill anybody, fucking idiots. And they're like, oh, thanks for the warning, we'll be careful. I'm like, you fucking better be careful. Get your goddamn guns out, like this is fucking Iraq. Just ridiculous. Crazy, crazy shit. Well, I'm going to sign off in about a minute here, since I'm kind of in the middle of the day, and it's probably a bad time to catch people on my live stream. But I'll try to do a few more live streams in general, just to kind of catch up with my audience. I mean, I definitely have a lot more subscribers than I used to. But my life, unfortunately, is kind of boring right now. So maybe it's not that exciting to come check in on my live stream. Let's see. Can I unshare my screen? I kind of prefer not not being so enlarged, anyways. Gained too much weight from my sedentary hotel life. But maybe you'll see me playing with some wing on some hydrofoil or some crazy shit in the future. You never know. All right. Well, I'm gonna head off, but thanks for stopping by. Glock and Roll. Thanks for stopping by, Uncle Al. Feel better, Uncle Al. Um, I hope that you feel better after your TIA event. That sounds a little bit rough, but hang in there. I'll pray for you. Hope you don't have any more serious health issues in the near future. But until next time, thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay ready, keep all your vehicles running better than I do, and as always, keep prepping. We'll see you next time, YouTube. Bye bye for now.